Hi, this is what we call a pre-production run. Okay, basically we've got all the parts for this product out of tooling. Okay, and we've done small engineering builds, but then now we need to really get into the thick of things for the manufacturing process and the testing processes. However, things are not defined enough to be in what we call the pre-production phase and do bigger pilot runs. So here we have about 40 products that are being built. And maybe Paul has been the project manager for this project. Maybe Paul, you can tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, come on. Let's go and have a look and see what we've got. So first of all, it's important that we look at the processes. So we've got our QPM or Quality Project Manager online, making sure that everything is being assessed, any quality issues are being picked up and they're going to be documented throughout. So we've got Ella on board throughout the whole process here. So let's just take. So on here, we need to make sure we understand that we have not got a full production setup. So everything's a little bit ad hoc at the moment as we go through. But here we've got the PCB and that's going to be flashed. So we've got the PCB loading in here and it's all connected up with the computer. And then the product's flashed with the hardware and the firmware and software. As we're moving down, we've got small sub-assemblies. So we've got electronics here. We've got charging case PCB. We've got the battery. We've got some wireless charging components ready for the sub-assembly. As we're moving down, we've got some plastic parts. These are going to be ready for assembly as they come through. And we've got these are production workers. So we've got a bunch of guys here. We've got production workers. So the idea here is they get trained in each of the processes. So we've got one person here looking after doing some small modifications and pre-assembly techniques ready for the small PCB. I don't know whether you can zoom in now. See a very, very small PCB, flexible PCB going in there. Another part of this pre-production is to look at all of the work instructions and the SOPs. So we've got a bunch of products here. As you see, we're not really set up as a production line, but we do have some key documents for the relevant stage at the moment. Here we've got charging case as a sub-assembly. The guys yesterday, they done some work on some small internal components on the inside. Today we're looking at fitting the lid. So again, we're looking at how to actually produce the action so it's nice and smooth. And this is all about training and training the field operators or the production operators as they come through. When we move into the next stage will be pre-production. Renaud said to start with, we're just building a small batch, 40, 45 units, just to make sure that we're getting operators trained up and looking at different processes to identify any issues with the assembly techniques. So that's where we are.
Yeah. And basically these 45 pieces, there's going to be, we think, a lot of rework along the way and so on, but still we will be able to test them, right? Test the active noise cancelling, test the audio quality, things like that. The battery, I mean, the way the whole thing interacts, right? So a lot of learning here, a lot of refining of the manufacturing process and of the testing process.